Hi lovelies, welcome back. I've just been doing some voice notes to my dad recapping how my first week on Mounjaro has been, and it got me thinking that there was so much that I was saying to him that I seemed to miss out on my first video. And really, I think the detail that I didn't go into is really what some people are going to tap in and connect to. So I really want to take this opportunity to try and capture every experience that I can. So I'm going to do my best to sort of recap to you what I was just saying to my dad. So the biggest thing from this week, I think, that I've loved the most from taking the Mounjaro, I mean, there are a lot of things that went really well for me. So obviously I did eat a lot less. I don't particularly think I was a big eater in the first place. And a lot of people would comment that they couldn't understand why I struggle to lose weight when I eat the way that I do and the amount that I do. But there were so many moments when I was eating last week. I think I touched on before the scenario of if somebody was to take my plate away, would I be, would I miss the food? Would I want it back? There was that element of it. But the fact that I was eating foods that I'm used to eating on a regular basis, like my usual ordinary foods, I'd get to a certain point of my meal and I just didn't want it anymore. And that feeling of, this is so difficult to put into words. And yet I did it with my dad. Okay, I'm back on track now. I've just re-listened to the messages, trying to figure out what it was that I was talking about. So when I was doing the research for Mounjaro, I was always watching people talking about, or even just reading like medical articles that it was all about you feel full. And I had it in my head, I was like, oh God, I really don't want to be walking around the whole time I'm on this feeling like I've had a Christmas dinner. You know that, like when you're absolutely bursting, you've completely overindulged, you've had all the trimmings, and you feel like you could be full for a week. Like that's like that when you're having a Christmas dinner. That's like the top level of fullness. And I thought, oh, I don't want to be feeling like that all the time. And it was bizarre. Actually, like I didn't feel that way at all. I never felt I'm overly full, or I never felt that I'd ate too much. I never felt, well, I did feel at times that I was eating very little, but that was just when I was sort of easing my stomach into it. But the only time I really felt full was on the Sunday morning when I'd had a bacon sandwich. I think that's something to do with the breads, which I am not gluten intolerant. I don't have intolerances that I'm aware of. There's definitely something going on in my gut, but I don't think it's an intolerance. But I do seem to react to carbs, to complex carbs, not complex carbs. Oh, I need to Google this. I mean starchy carbs. Whenever I eat starchy carbs like your breads and your pastas, that's generally when my stomach tends to react a little bit more. It was after that bacon sandwich, that was when I was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually full. And I have never in my life been full from a bacon sandwich. I mean, I could eat a bacon sandwich and say I've had something to eat and I don't need anything else. But I've never actually been like, oh my gosh, I can't eat anything. Like I am full. That was a bit of an eye-opener, and I don't think that's something I'll be doing on the regular anymore. I've only been doing that for the last sort of couple of weeks, where on a Sunday we have bacon instead, just because we don't really have bacon any other time in our diet, so it's a little bit of a treat. But I don't want to be feeling like that all the time every Sunday. So there was that feeling, but I was explaining to my dad more about the overall satiety feeling that I was having, and that I was explaining to him how wonderful it was that really, for what feels like the first time in my life, that I was really, I've been a mindful eater for a really long time. And I'm very aware that when I'm eating, how much should I be eating? I'm always thinking about how much should I have? When should I stop? Am I okay to clear the plate? You know, all these food thoughts that are going on all the time. In particular, at the weekend, when we were having the mince and the chicken on Saturday and Sunday, and their usual meals that I have, and I plated up the usual portions, where normally I like us to eat meals like that at the table, we were actually eating in front of the TV. And when you eat in front, when watching TV, you will consume more food. So I was kind of looking and thinking, you know, I'm really curious to see how much of this I eat. And when I got to the stage that I was leaving about a quarter or a fifth of the food on my plate, and I just looked at it and I looked at Billy and I just said, I'm done. And it's not like, oh, I'm done because I'm full, like, oh, I can't eat another bite. There wasn't any of that. It was just, it really, I think, genuinely for the first time, I was recognizing what it is to have that satiated feeling of, I've had enough food, I don't need any more. I wasn't even looking at the food and thinking, God, I really want to keep eating, but I can't because I'm full. You know, it was like, oh, I'm really enjoying this, I don't want it to end. There wasn't any of that. It was just like, this meal has served its purpose. Like, I've eaten enough and I don't need any more. And what I would do to have that feeling for the rest of my life, because I don't think I've ever had it before. Whew. Oh my gosh, I didn't expect that to get me emotional. I think for the people out there who have suffered with dieting, with eating the right foods, and with battling food noise all the time, it's the feeling that you get when you finally get to experience what regular people have, or what our bodies are supposed to have naturally. It really is a wonderful feeling. I imagine for someone that's colorblind, it's almost like seeing color for the first time. Maybe not in full, but being able to see hints of color and realize this is what everyone else sees. Oh, it was just, it wasn't emotional at the time, but as I reflect on it now, my God, I can't believe how much of a big deal that was. And I didn't really grasp exactly how amazing that feeling. I just relished in that feeling so much. And for that feeling alone, it's worth to me to be taking this drug for the rest of my life if I have to, because that really blew me away. That was really great. That was something that I wanted to capture. I didn't capture that in my last video, and I really hope that it's been worth it making this second one. Getting emotional at that really, that's really surprised me in a good way. It's really making me kind of realize how much food noise has still been playing a big role in my life. And I was trying to explain it to Billy. Billy has had this amazing, perfect upbringing. I'm always teasing him about how perfect he is, and he is perfect. Like, I think he's perfect. But he has like never struggled with weight and diet. He's got a very amazing muscular build. He works out all the time. He can eat food very automated and robotically. You know, he's kind of like, if I have to eat the same 3 meals every day for a month in order to achieve results, whether he's bulking or if he's wanting to trim down a little bit for summer, he can do that, no problem. Like, he really thinks his food is fuel, and he can enjoy his food. He does have a little bit of a sweet tooth, but you know, if he's like, no, I'm being good, he can just easily cut it out, and there's no like struggling or craving or, God, I would kill someone just to have that. You know, he doesn't have that. And when I was explaining to him what Mounjaro is about, and that it's the hormones that are going into your body, and it's that it's correcting, that I explained to him, clearly these hormones, your GLP-1 hormones, work very effectively for you, but they never seem to have for me. And I remembered explaining to him about, and it kind of switches off food noise, and he had a look on his face like, what is food noise? And I'm like, how how do you not know what food noise is? Like, shit, you know, trying to explain that to him, what food noise was all about. My food noise used to be a big part of my daily dialogue. But that over the years, I've got to grips with it, and that mostly now, a lot of my food noise is more just a case of what I'm eating in my eating window, because I do a lot of fasting. So it's like your fasting window is coming to a close, so you need to eat something. You need to eat something that's going to be gentle on your stomach. You know, whatever I'm eating, I'm very methodical about it. I'm kind of thinking, what are you eating? Is it something that's going to be gut friendly? Is it high in fiber? Is it protein that you're getting? Is it nutrients that you're getting? Like, I'm always kind of thinking, how is whatever I'm going to be eating serving a purpose? I'm always kind of thinking about the times. I've always had this thing that I don't like eating after 7 o'clock at night. And probably the only time I do that is when I'm on holiday. I like to make sure that I have like at least 3 hours where I've not had anything before I go to bed, because I make such an effort to try and sleep well, because historically I'm a bad sleeper. So these things, I'm always kind of thinking about the schedule and nutritional aspect of it. And then occasionally, because of my history, because I'm a woman, because I still have my period, so I'm very hormonal throughout the month, like every week our hormones are changing, I then get cravings where, you know, and sometimes it could just be, oh, like this week I've been mad about eggs, like I'm having eggs more than anything else. Or I go through phases where I eat avocados all the time and then I don't eat them for a long time. Things like that. Absolutely, my biggest thing is sweet stuff. I do have a sweet tooth. I was saying this to my dad, that I seem to have it ingrained in my DNA, like in my core, that after I have had a meal, I always need to have something sweet afterwards. And it doesn't even need to be something big. I always try to keep things in moderation. But last week, there was only one day where I wanted something sweet. And if I really wanted to, I could have like bypassed it. I could have just like powered through. But I decided to have it. And even then, just kind of realizing that even though I want something sweet, I don't need to have an awful lot. The amount of times where you read things like, just have a square of dark chocolate. It's like, no one's eating a square. Like, you know, like at least 2. But yeah, just, crazy. I don't think there's anything else in this video I can go into with regards to reflecting on my first week on Mounjaro. I have so many videos that I want to make that kind of explain my history, so that when I'm talking about food noise or my gut issue, that you will have a better understanding of where I've come from and how I'm tackling this. And there was something else. Yes, that's it. And I want to do a video to go into detail about what I have in mind, what I want to achieve with Mounjaro, what my goals are, what I'm sort of focusing on just now, what I'm thinking about long term. Yeah. So that's me for today. Thank you again for watching my video. If you want to see more of these, if you want to see more updates, or you want to know more about my past, please subscribe. Feel free to leave any comments, and I'll see you next time.